He was a soldier, a showman, and a tyrant, a man who once charmed crowds, then slaughtered his own people. This is the story of Idi Amin, a dictator whose rule became one of the darkest chapters in African history. Idi Amin was born around 1925 in northern Uganda under British colonial rule. He joined the King's African Rifles, a colonial regiment of the British Army. He fought for the British in Burma, Somalia, and Kenya, earning a reputation as a fierce, loyal soldier. But Amin was also known for his cruelty, even in the field. He beat prisoners, tortured suspects, and seemed to enjoy violence. Yet the British promoted him anyway, partly to counterbalance Milton Obote, Uganda's increasingly left-leaning president. By the 1960s, as Uganda gained independence, Amin had become the army's second-in-command. Obote saw him as useful, strong, obedient, not too educated. But Amin had other plans. In January 1971, with support from elements in the military and tacit approval from Britain and Israel, Amin staged a military coup while Obote was out of the country. Western powers initially welcomed the change. Obote had been drifting towards socialism, while Amin promised stability. The world smiled. The people cheered, but they didn't know what was coming. Almost immediately, Amin began purging the military. Soldiers loyal to Obote were tortured, executed, or disappeared. Some were beaten to death with sledgehammers. Others were dropped into the Nile River with stones tied to their legs. He ordered mass killings of ethnic Akoli and Langi tribes, groups he considered loyal to Obote. Thousands were slaughtered in military barracks and prisons. In public, Amin played the clown, wearing medals, dancing for crowds, and calling himself the last king of Scotland. In private, he ruled like a monster. Bodies washed up daily in the Nile. Dissenters were fed to crocodiles. His own wives were tortured and mutilated if they disobeyed him. He would personally participate in executions, sometimes laughing as he fired the shots. And the killing didn't stop with soldiers. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, anyone seen as intelligent or disloyal were hunted down. By the end of his rule, over 300,000 Ugandans were dead. In 1972, Amin expelled over 50,000 Asians, mostly Indians, many of them Ugandan citizens. He accused them of economic sabotage. In truth, he wanted their wealth. Their shops, homes, and factories were handed to Amin's cronies, who had no idea how to run them. Uganda's economy collapsed, shelves emptied, inflation soared. Still, foreign governments tolerated him. Israel had armed him early on. Britain and the US continued relations for years. Libya's Muammar Gaddafi gave him money and weapons, and Palestinian groups trained in Uganda with his blessing, including during the 1976 Entebbe hijacking, when Israeli commandos stormed an airport to rescue hostages, humiliating Amin in front of the world. His paranoia only deepened. He trusted no one. Ministers were executed weekly. Some say he kept severed heads in his fridge and practiced cannibalism, rumors he never denied. In 1978, his regime crumbled. Amin tried to annex part of Tanzania, but it backfired. Tanzanian forces, joined by Ugandan exiles, invaded. In April 1979, Kampala fell. Amin fled into exile, first to Libya, then to Saudi Arabia. He lived comfortably for over 2 decades, protected, untouched, unpunished. He died in 2003, never facing justice, never expressing regret. Idi Amin wanted to be remembered as a hero, a king, a great African warrior. But history remembers him for what he truly was, a madman with a gun, a butcher of his own people, and a brutal warning about what happens when the world looks away